This is Bruce Boudreau, head coach of the Vancouver Canucks, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am Canuck Clay Emo, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. Indeed, it's Clay's Canucks commentary for Tuesday, September the 20th. So thanks for being here. Going to talk a bit about my bowling. It's Tuesday night, so per tradition, I'm wearing my sweet bowling shirt. I'll give you a quick bowling update. We'll talk about Nathan MacKinnon and his salary. We'll talk about the Vancouver Canucks training camp roster invitees. And then, of course, we'll get to all of your questions. So first and foremost, moderators, thank you in advance for doing what you need to do. I appreciate all of you. Members, thanks to all of you. Legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members. And, of course, to the rest of you, no matter where you're watching from. Whether you're in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston, in Richmond, in the city, in the Lower Mainland, in the province, in the country, in the continent, or on the continent, or are you in a continent or on the, no, you're on a continent, or around the world. Thank you for being here. I do not take you for granted, and I know that you could be watching, doing anything else, but the fact that you are here with me tonight, I appreciate you, and thank you for helping me build this Canucks community, this channel, to be as engaging, as creative, and as positive as it is. So please, like this video, like the fact that we're together, like the fact that we are closing in on training camp and preseason games, which is pretty exciting. Like the fact that I think I've put all those technical issues to bed, well, at least for now. And I'm just so happy to be with you tonight. Now, Tuesday night is my bowling night, and then I go to my church at midnight my time. So this is the one where I kind of I make sure that I wrap up about between 35 and no later than between 35 and 40 minutes. But we'll see as it goes, as always. And don't forget, I will do my best to get to all of your comments and questions after the halfway point when I put up the sponsors. And when I do my sponsor read, that is your cue to then start firing questions. But until then, don't really do a lot of the questions. Don't really do a lot of the comments until after that point, unless you donate money. I should always acknowledge that. And if you compliment me as well. But more importantly, the donations are much appreciated, but certainly not necessary. And I will get to all of your comments, your questions after the halfway point. And if you're watching here, yes, make sure you like the video. If you're listening on a podcast platform, thank you for continuing to support me that way. And don't forget to rate and review the podcast as well. All right, so a couple of things before I get going. And I did say that I like to talk about compliments or give birthday shout outs. So Tony says, Tony George said, today is my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Tony George. Thank you for being here on your birthday. I appreciate. Amit says, I love you, Clay. I love you too, Ramit. Thank you. Tristan, I guess this is good news. I got a girlfriend today. That's awesome. Jasker says, Clay, you're very good looking. Well, GLCPC, of course. And Amit says, the best channel on YouTube. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And then there's many other wonderful comments in there as well. So let's get going. A couple things I want to talk about really quickly. The first thing is my bowling. You're asking, well, how I did? Well, thank you for asking. I'm not going to go through all the scoring systems, all the scoring as I did in great detail. But what you need to know is today, I got 6 out of 10 points. 6 out of 10 points. So the first game I lost 165 to 120. So I was down 45. Then the next game I won 202 to 145, so I beat him by 57. So then I was up 17 pins. Then he beat me 209 to 203, but I got 3 strikes, what's called a punch out in the 10th frame. So I won some money for that. So picture this, in the 4th game, I'm down 2 games to 1, and I'm up 11 pins total though. So in that last game, I beat him 164 to 163. So I won total pinfall, and I won 2 of the 4 games. So therefore I won 6 out of 10 points, which was good. But then unfortunately my teammates had a rougher go. They only won 2 points each, and we only won 4 of the 20 team points. So add them all up. We lost 36-14 tonight. So not our finest performance, but I bowled well, but it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm going to selfishly say, well, I bowled well and the other guys didn't. No, the other guys bowled decently, not as strong as they usually do. And that's why as a team, we did not do that well tonight. But I was happy. I had 200 games, a 164, and then the donkey game, the 120. It was pretty brutal. But at least I was able to pull through and get 200 games. I love it when I can outbowl my weight. Really quickly, I want to recognize a legend in here. Hot Take Hockey, not only a strong supporter of this channel, but John was named the in-arena host for the Sudbury Wolves today. So congratulations to John. Let's give John some love in the chat because he is going to be doing a pretty tough and yet important job. And I think John is going to do a great job in doing that. So once again, John, thanks for being here. Let's like the video, like the fact that we have other legendary, well, I just call myself a legend too. We have legendary content creators coming into the chat, stopping by. And yes, John is going to be the in-arena host for Sudbury, which is pretty cool. And one other thing I was going to say about John too. He's been great. I've gone to him a couple times and I've asked him, give me the lowdown on Mikheyev. And John would tell me that he's better on the left wing than the right wing. And then one person I haven't asked John yet about is Travis Dermott. And I told you guys yesterday that Travis Dermott was the one guy that I talked to the most at the golf tournament yesterday. So John, if you're listening, can you give us a quick scouting report on Mikheyev? Just one message, one comment, and I'll put up. And then can you give us a quick scouting report on Travis Dermott? Let us Canucks fans know what we can expect from each guy. We saw Dermott at the end of last season a little bit, but we haven't seen him playing to his full potential. But I will tell you, and as I mentioned yesterday, and especially for you, John, that Travis Dermott was a really, really nice guy to talk to, really outgoing, really funny. And so that was one of my cool experiences. Of course, my other two cool experiences I mentioned yesterday, if you missed it, Bruce Boudreau was able to talk to him and show him my podcast intro. He got a kick out of it. And then also I had a chance to talk to Spencer Martin, and Spencer Martin mentioned that him and his family watch my videos. Still not sure if that's the case, but then I think, why would the guy lie to me? So I'm going with Spencer Martin watches my videos, and thank you, Tristan, for the wonderful the compliment here. So I talked about my bowling today. So last week I took 6 out of 10 points. This week I took 6 out of 10 points. I'm averaging 171 in this league, 172, which is a big improvement for me. So far, very happy with how that league is going. You know who else is happy today? How about Nathan MacKinnon becoming the highest paid NHL player? Now, that won't kick in until next season, because this season, much like Horvat's on a pretty sweet 5.5 deal, much like JT Miller's on a pretty sweet $5.25 million deal, Nathan MacKinnon is in the final year of his 6-year contract worth $6.3 million. Actually, it was 7 years, $6.3 million. Nathan MacKinnon has, for the last 6 seasons and one more season, is making only $6.3 million. That is amazing. $6.3 million for Nathan MacKinnon. But then after this season, his brand new 8-year, $100.8 million salary, his contract kicks into play. Average annual value of $12.6 million, bettering Connor McDavid's $12.5 million by $100,000 a year. That's why his contract is worth $100.8. 800,000 divided by 8 is the 100,000 per year. So MacKinnon will be making 12.6 a year, whereas McDavid makes 12.5 a year. So obviously we'll see what happens when McDavid's next contract comes up, or how about Austin Matthews' contract? And especially if the salary cap's going to go up, we're going to see a lot of even contracts get higher and higher. And I want to talk a bit about Nathan MacKinnon vis-a-vis the Canucks, but real quickly, I asked Hot Take for a quick scouting report. So he started off by saying that 2 nicest NHL players I've met, Morgan Rielly and Travis Dermott. I would agree. I mean, I would not doubt that, considering what I've seen and how I experienced Travis Dermott yesterday. And then John also says, Mikheyev, crazy speed, always hungry for empty nets, improving on shooting percentage. Okay, I like that. Great middle six guy with second line abilities when he has better puck management decision making. And that's something that I'm sure will come as he gets more confident and get better. So that was an excellent scouting report on Ilya Mikheyev, and hopefully he's still there, and then he can give us a scouting report on Travis Dermott as well. So yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep talking about Nathan MacKinnon a little bit. So $12.6 million. Back in 2005, the NHL changed the way that you can do contracts. So prior to that, you weren't limited to 8-year contracts. You could go more. So Ovechkin actually has actually, I don't know when they changed it. I want to say the right thing. I don't think it was then, actually. They changed it, yeah, more recently. So Alex Ovechkin actually has a richer deal, $124 million, but that was over 13 years with Washington. Shea Weber was $110 million. That didn't go so well. 14 years with Nashville. And Crosby had $104 million, 12 years over Pittsburgh. And then they changed the rules where you can only go maximum 8 your own team or 7 to a new team. So MacKinnon is 8 years at 12.6, making 100.8. So still a lot of coin. And yeah, I think Colorado could have given him more, or because he means that much to that franchise. So of course you're going to pay him that much. You're paying Makar a lot, and then it's really setting up this really interesting system in the NHL where you're going to have a lot of people, the upper class, making a lot of money. Just look at the Canucks, and we'll get to that in a second. And then you have a lot of guys making league minimum or 750, 800 grand, 850, and then you don't have a lot of guys in the middle section. I'm going to talk about the Canucks, show you what the Canucks salary situation looks like as a comparable, and then I'll get to your questions. Hot take then says, for Travis Dermott, always had raw ability to be a top 4 guy, but wasn't able to match up against top talent consistently. Has good puck skills, decent skater, and can be physical. Solid bottom pair D-man. Now, I love that. I love what John said there. So thank you, John, the legend. I appreciate that. But the interesting thing is when I talked to Travis Dermott yesterday, I think I mentioned this on the stream yesterday, but I might not have in this detail. I said to him, there's all this talk about OEL and Myers. OEL or Quinn Hughes, one of those guys moving over to the right. I said, well, what about Travis Dermott? And he chuckled, and he says, of course, if it meant more playing time by playing on a second pairing on the right, he will take that every day over playing third pairing on the left. Because obviously, the higher up the lineup you play, the more minutes you get. And then without provocation, without prompting, he said to me that Bruce Boudreau would put him with Quinn Hughes. So Dermott on the right, Quinn Hughes on the left. And he said that Boudreau would throw them out there sometimes whenever they're down or they needed a goal or needed more of an offensive push. So it's kind of cool to hear Travis Dermott say that. And as I've been saying, if you go OEL and Hughes on the top pairing, no matter which way you do it, then Travis Dermott automatically becomes your second pairing left shot guy, likely with a guy like Tyler Myers, and then you can Rathbone with either Schenn or Pullman on the third pairing. So that's something that we can look at for sure. So Travis Dermott, like I said, nice guy, and thank you, Hot Take, for the wonderful scouting reports. One other thing I want to get to before I get to your questions, and that would be just taking a quick look at the Canucks salary situation in comparable. So, now we know of this $12.6 million for MacKinnon. Oh, by the way, I won't get to it today. Maybe I'll get more tomorrow. But Zdeno Chara, PK Subban, both retired this morning. And then Keith Yandel, another good defenseman, retired last night. I vlogged about it a little bit earlier today. And yeah, it's pretty uncommon to have three guys of that stature, all defensemen, retire within 24 hours of each other. And actually, Chara retired as a Boston Bruin, signing a 1-day contract with the Bruins. One thing I want to share with you guys is this. And this is the Vancouver Canucks salary situation based on Cap Friendly. Now, what Cap Friendly does, it lists all the forwards, then the D-men, then the goaltenders, and then the injured reserve, the long-term injured reserve, Ferland, the PTO, De Kaiser, right? No money attached to him. Dead cap, 1 more year of Holtby and Virtanen. Then they do all these calculations. Then they have guys in Abbotsford. But I'll say a couple of things. This isn't the most accurate right now because it's accurate from a number standpoint over year by year. But what's not accurate is how they've listed the roster. They only have 12 forwards. They only have 6 defensemen, 2 goalies, and 3 injury reserves. So I guess they do have a 23-man roster here. But I don't think Hoglander is going to be on the IR to start the season. I don't think Pullman's going to be on the IR to start the season. And then you have a guy like Jack Rathbone who's still shown as a non-roster player down here, like an Abbotsford player, where you could have someone like Brady Keeper might not be on the big club, or even Kyle Burrows. So the numbers aren't perfect, but at least you can see how they kind of go out year by year. And the main thing I really wanted to just kind of point out to you, if we had more time, I probably talked too much for the first half. If we had more time, I was actually going to go through each guy one by one, and then ask you if he's overpaid, underpaid, or just right. But I'm going to save that for another stream. But just take a look at how the Canucks shape up for next season. Remember, JT Miller new contract doesn't start until this 23-24. There's 8 million, 8 million, 8 million, 8 million, 8 million. But so you can see we actually have a lot of forwards locked up for next season as well, and only half of our defensemen. But for this season, a couple things. So PD is our highest paid forward at 7.35, got 2 more years. Besser just signed his new 3-year deal at 6.65. And then you have Horvat. Remember, there's a big red mark because he's not signed past next year. He's at 5.5, and JT Miller's at 5.25. What a deal right here. Then you have Connor Garland making a shade under 5, Mikheyev making a shade under 5, right, with his 4 more years at 4.75. Then you have Tanner at 3.2, Tanner Pearson, Dickinson at 2.65, Curtis Lazar at a cool 1 million for the 3 years, and then Kuzmenko at 950. He's going to get a raise. You have Podkolzin still with another year at 925, which is a steal, and then Justin Dowling. So here's another example. I don't think Justin Dowling is going to be on this roster. You're going to have Hoglander up there as well. For D, Quinn Hughes entering year 2 of his big $7.85 million deal. Oliver Ekman-Larsson entering year 4 of his 8-year deal, $7.26. And believe it or not, it's actually 8.1, but Arizona's picking up 1 million of that. Tyler Myers, only 2 more years left at 6 million. Simply would say, well, why don't you buy Tyler Myers out? But what you do is you don't do that this year. You wait till 1 more season. You wait to do that next year if you want to do it. Travis Dermott, a cool 1.5. I hope he stays, but he's going to want a little bit of raise that. Then Luke Shen, his last year at 850. Kyle Burrows at 750. Demko at 5 million. This is a steal. You have Spencer Martin at 762. So it's a 763 for the next 2 seasons. We should pay him more because the guy watches my videos. And then, like I said, Pullman 2.5 for 3 on the injury reserve. Niels Hoglander in the last year of his ELC. Brady Keeper, not sure if he's going to stay on the big club. And then Ferland's 3.5 that we can still get relief from. And finally, 1.9 in Braden Holtby and 500 grand in Virtanen. But at least there is these die after this season, and there's no more Roberto Luongo cap recapture penalty. So you go through all the numbers on your own. I guess the one guy down here a couple guys, Dakota Joshua will likely make the club. He's 825. And then I think Jack Rathbone will make the club, and he's at 850. So you're going to have to factor those in as well. So that's a quick look at what there. There's Puckpedia as well. There's Cap Friendly. So if you ever want a snapshot of what the Canucks salary cap looks like, use any of those 2 sites. I'm at my midway point. That's where I thank the sponsors, and that's where you can start to load up your questions. So first and foremost, thank you to Van City Experts Real Estate, Jason Lim and his team. Contact Jason and his team for all of your real estate needs. Thank you to Coach Patrick and Perform Transform, personal training and weight loss. You can still sign up for free 7-day trial with them. Simply type in performandtransform.ca/Canuck Clay. Also, thank you to Gassy Jack Art, maker of that fine artwork. Thank you to Monkey 9 Brewing, my eternal sponsor, and to Vessi, my brand partner that way. So once again, thanks to all sponsors for supporting me on this channel. Now it's time to get to your comments. Let's do this for about 15 minutes max. Yes, Fangirl. I did see that Patrick Johnson of the Province reporting that Sportsnet 650 will have the Canucks radio rights for one more season. So we haven't seen an announcement yet, but that is, I guess, good news if you like listening to the games on Sportsnet 650. Tristan says, do you think that we made a mistake for not trading Myers? It's not as simple as that, Tristan, because to make a trade, you need a trading partner. So I think it's too simplistic to say we made a mistake by not trading him because there might not be a big market for him. Meows, I never thought I'd live to see the day that Luongo's cap recapture penalty was off the books. Me too. Jaskrin, I don't think this is true. We are a good team. And I actually, more importantly, I don't think you mean this. I think you're just saying that. Steve, is Myers only going to get traded? If Myers is going to get traded, it'll be this year as he only has 1 year left. Yes, that's a great point. Kind of the same as his buyout potential. You likely will only move him sometime this season for next season. Clifford, you think Joe Thornton is next? Oh, I thought you said, do you think Joe Thornton is the next Clay? I said, no one is the next Clay, but you're saying you think Joe Thornton is next Clay? Yeah, potentially. He wasn't that effective that last season. Adam says, I'm late to the stream. No problem. You can always go back and watch. Jaskrin, did you see the tweet of Frank Cervelli saying Elias might not start the season? And Elias replied, I can return whenever I want. Oh, sorry, Ellis, not Elias. Ellis. Frank Cervelli saying Ellis might not start the season. And Ellis replied, I can return whenever I want. I did not see that. I'm going to look that up right now. That is really funny. Frank Cervelli. Where did he say that? Marco Scandella. Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, Frank Cervelli says about following the Sean Couturier news, Flyers are not expected to report any progress with the defenseman Ryan Ellis when camp opens. He will not be ready to start the season. Right now, there's no hint of a timeline for him to return. And then Ryan Ellis wrote back, I'll come back when I want, Frank. That is pretty funny. Tristan says, Clay, can you agree that Hot Take Hockey looks like Connor Garland in a good way? Two good-looking guys, but I wouldn't say that they look the same. Yeah, that's better. We're both equally great, Parker and me, of course. Sunshine, I cannot wait either, of course. Coach Rob going with his retire jokes, of course. So he's saying the tire shop near me was really busy. Yes, Tristan, I was at the Sedin's retirement ceremony. It was awesome. Not the PA system wasn't great. Actually, for my seats, the PA system was fine. But I know down on the ice, it was tough for the players to hear. By the way, if you're looking for tickets, I've sent the spreadsheet out to about 18 people. If you want to look at either of my ticket lists, we have upper bowl seats, $319. We have lower bowl seats in $115. And just email me at canuckclay@gmail.com. I just put it in the chat, and I will send you our ticket lists by email. And stay tuned. Sometime in the next week, I won't tell you when, but I'm going to be doing a giveaway for a pair of preseason seats, and not in my 319, but in my lower bowl 115 seats. But I haven't decided actually what show I'm going to do that on. Fango, do you think Jet Wu makes the Canucks if he's NHL ready? Well, if he's NHL ready, that gives him a better chance, but that doesn't guarantee anything because there are not a lot of good players, but there are players in front of him on the right side. Who do I think will be PP1? Mountain Raj, the same people. Pettersson, Hughes, Miller, Besser, and Horvat. Jason, does Bo get signed before the season starts? What are your thoughts on it? I think it gets done. JT Miller's news came out of nowhere. I think that the Horvat news will come out of nowhere as well. And James Sesko, same question. Do you think Bo will get his contract soon? I really do. I really do. Clifford, I love the start of hockey season, but it also means that winter's coming, and that's kind of depressing. Yeah, you can't have everything. You can't have hockey season starting and it's still being sunny all the time. Justin, remember, even with Myers, we were a top 10 defensive team last season. I'd rather have Myers than Edler. That's a hot take. Edler at his peak was pretty good, though, but I hear what you're saying. Pat, Clay, if all does not go well this year in the first 25 games, does Boudreau stay and write out his contract, and does Bo stay? If things do not go well in the first 25, I still think Boudreau rides out his contract because you're not going to fire him and then pay him and Green a salary. And then as opposed with Bo, I think if the Canucks don't do well to start off, then you're more apt, you're more likely to make changes. Tristan, always open to listening to ideas, but I'm not gonna promise anything for sure. Jaskrin, seeing Sedin's retirement ceremony was great, but after seeing Markstrom's 48 save shutout was a good cherry on top. It's a great night. It was a great night. Hello, Rosario. Rosario is 2 seats away from me in my 319 seat. So you buy a pair of 319 seats from me, you might be sitting very close to Rosario. Justin, Jet Wu is never going to be a Canuck. I don't see him cracking the lineup unless significant injuries happen. And even then, I don't see it happening. I would agree with you, Justin. Fangirl, would you take a Prime BX? Of course. Of course. Anytime you ask me a question that starts with Prime, yes, because that means they are at the top of their career. And I would take any past Canuck that was good at their prime. So yes, I would take a Prime Bieksa. He would automatically be our first pairing. Can you imagine Bieksa and Hughes? What a pairing that is. Shannon, I can't do a giveaway for wheelchair tickets because I don't have wheelchair tickets to give away. But we can talk and try and figure out a way to get you over here this season. Sunshine, I don't know much about this stuff, but how can they sign Bo with only $1 million cap space? No problem. Great question, because we're not talking about this season. It has nothing to do with this season. He's on the books for a 5.5 this season. We are talking about what happens from the 23-24 season going forward. Hoglander for Bear, I would not do it. I'm not sold on Bear, as I mentioned yesterday on Canucks After Dark. And I think Hoglander, I don't think you give up on him just yet. He's only in his 3rd year. With no not getting re-signed, I'm not sure what that means, Tristan. Fangirl, that is what we need, plus another good goal producer. Oh, I think I missed something, but that's okay. Sidhu, there will be a problem if the Nucks fire Boudreau. Clay will have to change his intro. I did think about that actually as I put the intro together, but I'm gonna milk it for as long as I can this season for sure. Sunshine, I'm excited for our Besser bounce back season. I've been saying with the burden, the relief of his dad's health now gone, I think Besser is gonna have a massive year, and what a big help to the Canucks that would be. Because now not only do you have 3 really strong centers, but imagine if Kuzmenko's good, imagine Podkolzin continues to develop, Garland, Besser, we could have a really, really strong top 9. Tristan, do you think that our AHL netminder will ever get in the NHL after his young stars play? Yeah, Seelovs will likely be the backup after, if Martin doesn't do so well in his next 2 years. I think Seelovs is our number 3. I think he's going to be battling Martin going forward for sure. Manrash Pacific Division predictions. Calgary and Edmonton 1-2. Doesn't matter what order. Well, I don't know yet. I have Vancouver 3. Then Vegas and LA. Vancouver, Vegas, and LA battling for 3, 4, 5. But I got Vancouver 3. Vegas and LA, any 4 or 5. Then likely Anaheim, San Jose, Seattle. Tristan. Oh, Bo. With Bo not getting re-signed, thanks everyone. Do you think that will mess up his game? Nope. I'm sure it's a little bit of a distraction, but these guys are professionals, and the better he plays, the better his next contract will be. Shannon, I would love to make my way over to Victoria for a Royals game with you and Coach Rob. We'll see if we can make that work. Taylor, Clay, after today's contract with MacKinnon, do you see Matthews getting the $50 million per season if he goes to LA? I could see him getting more than 12.6. I really could. I'm not sure. 15 seems a little high, but you never know. Fangirl, when do you think the management makes the first trade of the season? In the first month or within the first 4 months? So tough to say. That's almost impossible to predict. But if you're asking me for a prediction, I don't think it happens in the first month. That's not enough time to see what your team is made of. Sunshine thinks the Canucks got stronger. Definitely up front. Vishy is fishy. Have you ever worried about the Canucks not winning a cup in your lifetime? I don't think worry is the proper word, but yeah, I've certainly thought about it. I've reflected on it. I'm already 48. You could say that's about the halfway point, and the Canucks have come close 3 times, or at least made it to the finals 3 times. So maybe they do make it, but yeah, I'd love to see the Canucks win a Stanley Cup in my lifetime for sure. So yeah, that's how many points do you see Hughes getting this season? I'm going 75 points for Quinn Hughes. Edmund, are you surprised DiPietro hasn't been moved yet? Or do you think he'll be placed on waivers? I'm not sure if you need to put him on waivers to get down to Abbotsford. So then you do have to trade him. And I simply think he doesn't have any value. He doesn't have any value. So what are you going to get for him? Not much. Tristan, do I think LA are cup contenders? No, I don't. Shannon, how do I see the number 40 Pettersson doing this year? I think he's going to get between 80 and 85 points. Hey, Caden, welcome. Matthews has gotten worse. Agree or disagree? Strongly disagree. You could argue he's right up there with McDavid and MacKinnon as the 3 best players in the league. Who can I see scoring 30 this season? I could see, I'm not saying they're all going to do it, but potential Miller, Horvat, Petey, and Besser. I think Garland has an outside chance and Kuzmenko has an outside chance. Where I think Connor Bedard goes, Arizona's going to be bad. Philly's going to be bad. Seattle's going to be bad. There's some options. Justin says Hughes getting 75. Yep, you and I agree on that for sure. I do not think Miller will hit 100 points. I'd be happy with 80 points from Miller. Justin Credible, how many 30 goal scorers will the Canucks have this season? I say 4. Yeah, I just answered that. I think you typed it in before I answered that. I think it's the 4. Maybe we're thinking about the same 4. PD, Miller, Horvat, Besser, and then maybe Garland and Kuzmenko have an outside shot. Jasker says, if not McJesus, I would take Matthews right after McDavid. I don't see anyone close to McDavid's level than Matthews. I'd say MacKinnon too. Those 3, I think there are the elite players in the league. Fangirl says, where does Aiden fit in after he signs at ELC, probably at the end of his season in NCAA? Aiden McDonough? Yeah, he'll be part of the prospect pool, and he's got to work his way up to the team. When is McDavid's contract over? I think next year. How many points will he get? Well, I think he'll get between 120 and 130 points. I'm not sure when his contract is over. Shannon, when you say the goalies we have this year, but I know we have Demko, who's the other one. The other one is Spencer Martin. Spencer Martin will be the backup this season because he signed a 2-year contract. He appeared in 6 games last year. He didn't lose in regulation. He won 3 games, and the 3 that he lost were all in overtime or a shootout. And I think he's poised to be the Demko's backup, get 20 games or so. And then in Abbotsford, you have Archer Silovs, veteran Colin Delia, and then Michael DiPietro. Sunshine, do you think Edmonton can make it to the finals in the playoffs? Something tells me they don't have the goaltender defense. Well, they did get Jack Campbell, so they're a little better. But I'd still say Edmonton or Calgary will come out of our division because they are the cream of the crop in our division for sure. What would happen to the Oilers organization if McDavid doesn't get re-signed? Oh, it'll be in shambles. They will do everything they can to re-sign him. Do I think Bieksa goes into the Ring of Honor? I don't, Fangirl. I think Edler will, but I don't think Bieksa was a great player. Or I'd say a good player, a lot for the city, but I'm not sure if he had the longevity that's needed for a Ring of Honor. Okay, friends, we're at 35 minutes. I think this is a good place to wrap up for tonight, because remember, Tuesday night's the one where I can't go too long because I have to get to my church for my prayer hour starting at midnight. So thanks to all of you for being here tonight. Firstly, thank you to the moderators. Thanks for doing a great job. It seems like you didn't have to do too much tonight, which is absolutely fine by you, I'm sure. Thanks to legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang. Those are my legend members. Thanks to Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. I appreciate all of you. For anyone who subscribed new today, thank you. No donations tonight, but that's fine. That's not a hint. I'm just looking at my screen. There's a dash where it says chat revenue, but that's fine. That's fine. I appreciate everyone who's donated in the past as well. So thank you for being here. Tomorrow's Wednesday night. I'll be back with my regular stream. I'll hopefully be able to do a vlog during the day, but depends if anything's going on. And tomorrow is the first day our religious education classes start up at my church. So it might be a busy day, but we will see what happens. So thanks to all of you for being here. Oh, yes. And of course, I thank my moderators. I thank my members. And of course, anyone who subscribed, donated. And of course, I want to thank the sponsors one more time. Van City Experts Real Estate, Perform and Transform, Personal Training, Weight Loss, Gassy Jack Art, Monkey Nine Brewing, and Vessi. Okay, I can hear my voice going a little bit. So it's good that my prayer hour is supposed to be done in silence. It's not like I'm talking or singing or anything like that. So I'll be able to rest my voice for a little bit, do a bit of reading for my course, and all is well in this world. So on your way out, subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, become a member or upgrade your membership if you'd like to, leave a tip, a super thanks, a donation if you'd like to, and definitely leave a comment on your way out if you'd like to. And if you're listening to this on the podcast platform, thank you. Make sure you rate and review. And like I said, for YouTube, you guys watching on YouTube, thank you. And make sure you like the video on your way out. I will see you tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Pacific time. Same place, same time, same good lookingness, same great positive analysis. There we go. Thanks again, you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. And I got to tell you, earlier today, I opened my water bill and my electricity bill at the exact same time. And I was shocked. Zzz. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.